I got Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, Adventure Time, Finn and Jake Invest. Invest in what? Cryptocurrency? Uncharted 4. Oh god, kill it. Uncharted 4, The Thief's End. Square Enix's Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix. God of War. Don't know what this game is because I don't have the cover for it on. Mark.
Wait. What is it?
Yes.
Have you played the original trilogy?
I will when I'm able to.
It's on the PS Plus, and oh boy, I watched my brother play.
Play the games, it was bloody.
Yeah, and let's just say, it got so bloody, even the screen of the game gets covered.
Yeah, I know. I played the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I got Mark McMorris, Infinite Air. I've not played that game ever since I got it. Skylanders. That's all I'm going to say. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And let me check out this Steelbook game. Mortal Kombat 11.
That's on the Xbox.
Yeah, but Disc 1,
Wait.
the complete 11th season of SpongeBob SquarePants. Disc 1 is in this. SpongeBob SquarePants.
That was a good show.
Yeah. Well, those are all the ones in there, all the cases. But now, time to look into my giant thing filled with discs that my mom decided not to put the games in the cases, just in a giant box filled with discs.
Possibly most of the rest are actually on point.
Probably. So I got, in these, I'm going to start with my Xbox One games. Xbox 360. Call of Duty 2. Black Ops 2, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty Black Ops. WWE All-Stars, Lego Marvel, Lego Dimensions, UFC 3 Undisputed. UFC Undisputed 3. The Sims 3 Pets, Disney Infinity, Street Fighter 4, DC Superheroes 2. Check, yep, okay. Lego Batman, the video game. Mortal Kombat vs. DC, they did that game. Mortal Kombat Complete Edition. Minecraft Story Mode, the Complete Adventure. That game never won. Sniper Elite version 2.
Actually, during the season 2 of Minecraft Story Mode, it had, like, lots of famous YouTubers in it.
I know. Minecraft, Lego Marvel Avengers, Skylanders, again, and WWE, and 3 WWE games. And then on my PS5 games, and I only have 4 here, because the 5th one I took to my dad's and left there for him to play. I got Lego Star Wars, and the other games I already told you about. And now let me get all the way over to my PlayStation, PS4 games. So I got Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Subnautica, Red Dead 2, Adventure Time. It says it's Investigation.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
First thing, I'll call you back, alright?
Okay.
Or I'll say, no, wait, I'll see,
Okay.
That's the number?
Hello. Hello. So that Adventure Time game I was telling you about,
Yeah.
it says investigation.
Oh. Alright.
I got South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
Imagine Ubisoft actually made a South Park game.
It did.
Yeah, they were the ones who made it.
And The Stick of Truth. That one, don't play. If you're too pure. Red Dead Redemption 2, Dragon Ball. Okay, more games I already told you about. The Sims 4, Madden 20. Okay, 2K, WWE 2K18 and WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Another Xbox WWE game. Dark Souls 2. Mortal Kombat XL.
Dark Souls 2?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I've seen your stream.
That was terrifying. Overwatch. Mortal Kombat XL. Do you have Overwatch?
You know they're coming out with a second one?
Yep, and also the last time I played Overwatch was with the person that we will not be naming, just because you aren't allowed to talk to them. And
Oh,
with,
yeah.
and when I played it with him, my game was so laggy.
Oh, and I'm just letting you know, I was looking at the Game Awards stream.
Yeah?
They finally, at the end of the stream, announced Dead Island 2.
Wasn't that already supposed to come out?
No, but we've never heard words since 2014.
How did it take them that long?
I have no idea. You have to see the freaking trailer. Oh, and they're also coming out with a game from the movie Killer Clowns from Space.
Huh.
It's around 47 years old, and it was around the 1990s. It was a pretty wacky, not so much of a horror, more of a comedy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon.
Yeah.
But how you said Dead Space 2, you want to know one game I was expecting them to also announce?
But
I was expecting you to also say the announced Half-Life 3.
you know it will never happen.
Yeah, well, via the ending of Half-Life Alyx, they kind of have to make Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Like, if they don't, it's illegal now.
Also, like Alex is basically a filler episode.
I know. Like, Half-Life 1, Episode 1. Half-Life 2, Half-Life 1, Season 1. Half-Life 2, Season 2. We have episodes with Season 3 and 4, if we count, half the episodes 1 and 2 for that.
Oh,
Half-Life Alyx, filler episode, leading to Half-Life 3, Season 5.
You know, not gonna lie, I'm just gonna say this. I feel like if I create comics or animation
Yep.
for a filmmaker, I was thinking of what if we both were in the forecast like on that Freddy's Fazbear's Mega Flash.
I feel like the funniest part would be, like, the next time you and me hang out, if you do, like, your mom meets my mom,
Yeah.
because your dad's already met my mom, if you're able to spend a night, we could actually play FNAF Security Breach, and I'll start a new save file to go with it. So then while we're playing, it's like we're playing it completely random. Because, and also, one main thing that would happen if you and me were playing that, you wanna know what that is?
What?
Mainly, the fact that there's a high chance you will be able to get past the endoskeleton part.
Oh, I already know what it's like.
I don't know how or why, but I'm so close to getting that security badge. But I'm too scared to go into that room by how many there are.
Oh, and they're basically, it's like, as you 1 through 3, but you just clone it multiple times.
Okay, listen, we gotta get that peanut out there to kill that kid. Dude, you a badge. What the?
Oh, man.
I feel like that would be like a funny skit we do.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wow, this kid is doing so well at getting all the badges. Deploy the peanut to kill him. Gotta grab this badge, and why are there a bunch of peanuts? And then,
You know what? What about 682, huh? Man, poor. I'm not just gonna say Gregory because Gregory might not even be a human being, but I'll be a little worried about Freddy. Like, just gets thrashed around.
oh, you wanna know something funny?
Yeah.
A YouTuber once called Backseat Streams. When they played the game, they somehow got the Vanny ending 2 times in a row on accident when the game launched. Because the first time, he jumped into Freddy, and Freddy deloaded the world, and they fell into the area where you're meant to, like, walk past, like, go past all the destroyed animatronics, and then go into the room. And they fell into that, and he goes ahead, does that, and he's like, then he gets a call from Freddy in it, and he's like, wait, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And he's like, Freddy, what do you mean? You were just fine, I saw you a few seconds ago. And then when he gets to the ending, he's like, oh, sorry, Vanny, we didn't see you in the game, and now you're dead. Freddy, what happened? You were just fine a few seconds ago.
It's totally emotional damage.
Yeah, and then the funniest part was he did it again on accident. He went, oh, okay, then I accidentally jumped over this barrier. And then he didn't even get the ending. He went ahead and got stuck in the railing. He went, well, guys, we have found a new glitch. I am now stuck in the railing. Time to reset.
Have you ever played Saints Row yet?
I have not played the new one.
Oh, not the new one, but the remastered one of Saints Row 3.
No, but I played Saints Row 4.
Oh yes, I should play it on the Xbox One.
Yeah, pretty much.
Saints Row game.
Me?
My experience is.
Oh.
Yes, Matrix was great.
But the last time I played a Saints Row game, it was me and one person I'm ashamed to ever have called a friend named Joey. You want to know why I'm ashamed of that?
Why?
Because it took me like a few years, like 2 years ago, he showed his true colors in what he actually is. You want to know what that is?
What?
A racist. You want to know how he showed that? Yeah, but you want to know how he showed that?
What?
He is whiter than you and me combined. And he was going around saying the N-word like it was nothing. Smith,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
No wonder why it was forgettable.
Yeah, and then I went ahead and just stopped talking to him for 2 years. Until the beginning of this year, he wanted to talk to me again. Now I'm sure, fine. And then the second I invited my friend Goose, you know, the person that made my profile picture,
Yeah.
I invited her to a call because he kept saying the N-word. He immediately kicked her. I went, dude, why are you inviting random people? And I invited her to a chat with me and him where he couldn't kick her. And then she immediately started getting mad at him for that, and he was trying to make up reasons for why he was able to say that.
Yeah, I feel like you should just do the movie where the man disappears.
Yeah. Like, I'm not even joking, I just went, whoop, and just disappeared. And the funniest part about all of it,
I never talked to him again.
yeah, that's exactly what I did. Brandon, you want to know the funniest part was?
What?
After all that, the only time I ever played a Saints Row game was Saints Row 4. The one with all the DLC.
Yeah.
Me and him beat the DLC that was meant to be like 2 or 5 or 10 hours long. Me and him beat it in like 50 minutes. Like, me and him just speed ran. So that was the only time I ever played a Saints Row game.
So, what's he doing these days?
Other than schoolwork, I've been streaming on Twitch more. The one that should not be named got me to be able to talk to a guy that completely got mad at the one that should not be named, me and Goose, because, well, Goose wanted to be paid $20 to do art for a Friday Night Funkin' mod. He was trying to force Logan to do all the coding and playtest the game without being paid.
You already told me about that one part. You already told me about that.
Yeah, the funniest part was, while I was talking to him, I decided to bring up the idea of like reaching out to a YouTuber called SMG4 and seeing if like on his Glitchy Productions channel, if me and Kai, that's the guy who got mad at everyone, could like make a thing for the Oblivion SMP on there. Went up, and me and Kai both thought it would be a good idea. And then 2 days later, he asked me about it, and I had completely forgotten. So I immediately went, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And he went, oh yeah, that's funny, I was your fan.
Oh, yeah, because
Yep.
I have 5 more minutes.
But, and then someone on a server that has Emerson and the one that shall not be named, and his girlfriend and pretty much all their other friends, one of their friends, named Finley, started getting mad at, went into the event chat and went, oh, no one's talked to me this entire break in my class, and yada yada yada. And he was pretty much being mad that no one talked to him. Logan tried talking to him. You know, when that shall not be named, tried talking to him. And he didn't want to talk to him. So he was complaining about no one talking to him. When that shall not be named, pretty much just went, like, not to be mean or anything, but I tried talking to you and you said no. And me just hearing seeing both sides of the story, and realizing, Finley, I talked to you. Am I now a nobody? So immediately, me and the one that should not, well, not even the one that should not be named, me and him were playing Overwatch, and then when I saw that and realized, this man doesn't even think of me as anything, I immediately, well, shut up, no one cares. And everyone acted like I stabbed their grandmother. But this guy has been talked to by all of you, and says, none of you talk to him. You have talked to that man. You act like, and he's like, oh, none of you have talked to me, I'm so sad. Like, sir, if people have talked to you, you can't say no one's talked to you. So, no one cares, because that is a big fat lie.
Oh, he put it.
Yeah.
You know, this year had started off with World War III from monkeypox, which not really a great name for it because, well,
They had to find a new animal to name it after. After the swan flu.
no, because it started from Africa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good name.
Yeah, that ain't a good name. And now we have the second she shall not be named getting in trouble so much that the FBI got involved.
What was happening?
You know, I dare not say his name.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the not so nice man who ran for 4 years.
Yep.
He stolen about 300 classified files.
Yep.
And now most of his followers are starting making death threats to the FBI. One of them even during the same day, tried to attack an FBI place in Ohio.
The FBI is the highest form of police. What did they think was going to happen?
Yeah, this man started shooting. He started using a nail gun, then moved on with an AR.
Yeah, this man went, okay, screw it, I'm going to use an AR.
Yeah, he got sniped.
Yeah, that's the main thing about the FBI. Again, it's the highest form of our police. Because when there's someone holding people hostage, there's that one person that goes in there's that one person to try and come up with a plan, and then there's the FBI agent with a sniper aimed at the guy's head. None of that works.
Oh, and another thing, another follower got arrested for sending death threats to most of these FBI agents'
Makes
families.
sense.
Yeah, well, one thing you should learn about training someone, never threaten a federal agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because anyways, man, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just let I know we can talk anytime.
Okay.
Well, if it's around my breaks in school, I can. But, anyway, see ya, man.
See ya. Bye. It's fun. I forgot why. I don't even know why I didn't talk to Brandon for a while. I was asked about my sister if I'm at my mom's. Last time I checked, this room was pretty much home, so. Grandma, are you with Mama? Yes. 3.14, It's on They banned Simpsons Sesame Street. And now I'm going to skip the ad.
But then, 2019, everything changed. Up until this point, most of the search consisted of speculation and minor leads. But on February 14th of the same year, a collaboration between the American Archive of Public Broadcasting and Sesame Workshop was announced. The Library of Congress stated that Sesame Street has, quote, donated a collection of digitized episodes from the past 50 years of Sesame Street to be preserved for posterity. The Sesame Street collection will be available to view on site at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and by appointment at WGBH in Boston. This collection consisted of nearly 4,500 episodes, including several iconic moments and songs from Sesame Street's earlier years. However, it was unclear if the coveted Wicked Witch episode would be included. Not only that, but the archive was available to view on site, meaning that even if 847 was included, you'd have to travel to Washington and make an appointment. Regardless, I eagerly waited and hoped for the best. But then, something really unexpected happened. Just about a week after the event was announced, a never-before-seen image of episode 847 appeared online. It supposedly came from one of the admins of the Mother Wiki named Radiant. And he had told Gravy, quote, all I can say is that the episode is a loss, and hopefully, someone will share more about it at some point this year. The quality of the image gave little doubt to its authenticity. This wasn't an archive still or a decades-old remnant. This image was taken from some kind of master tape.
Oh my gosh, that was an Dang. Okay. Here's how it happened. Here's how it all went down. I was waking up from a nap, and I got a Discord text message. I was like, "Have you seen this?" And I saw it, and I was looking at it, and I was like, I had to double check that I was not still asleep. So I just kept staring at the photo. I was like, "Oh my god, man, we are getting somewhere here." And I was like, it was very exciting. And, people said, "Oh, probably keep her Library of Congress, probably keep her blah, blah, blah." But I know a handful of people, including myself, they contacted the Muppet Wikiad and then uploaded this photo. And we were like, "Where is it from? Where's it from?" And what's his name? Radio name. He was like, "All I can say is that the episode is lost, and hopefully someone will share more about it at some point this year."
Later that year, the Museum of the Image announced an interesting event called Lost and Found. It was a screening of the show's rare segments held in New York. The event took place in November 2018 and included special guests Rosemary Trujillo and Norman Stiles, who both worked at the Sesame Workshop. Quote, "A panel of insiders will shed light on such stories as why Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, never reappeared." Now, I remember when this event was first announced. It was pretty big news to me. Episode 837 was a well-known mystery at this point, and something of a holy grail for velocity enthusiasts, Sesame Street fans, and just fans of TV in general. I could not pass up the opportunity to watch what I've been locked away for so long. I purchased my ticket, packed my things, and headed to Times Square. Recording was obviously prohibited during the events, but they did show a myriad of other well-known lost Sesame Street clips, like Wendy, Cracks, and even some of the elusive divorce episode, which is still completely lost, but that's a different story. Until, at long last, Stephanie D'Abruzzo came onto the stage to introduce the next thing they're showing, episode 847. They didn't play the entire episode. I mean, obviously, that would be like an hour long, but my eyes gleamed as I finally watched the Wicked Witch episode. At the end of the event, I introduced myself to Norman Stiles and asked, "Are there any plans to release 847? And he said, "No." According to him, Sesame Workshop are just too embarrassed by the whole ordeal. And that is supported by the angry letters. I respected his answer and cared for the material, but I couldn't help but feel disappointed. And that was that. I left knowing that I was one of the few who watched the long-lost Wicked Witch episode of Sesame Street, the one that hadn't aired since 1976. Or so I thought. Almost as quickly as the event ended, leaks of 847 began appearing online. The most widely circulated was this one, a shaky recording from a smartphone. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, given the rarity of the episode.
It might have been like a week after. I don't know when. Initially, after the screening, people were posting links of like the divorce episode, and like Cracks and audience reactions and stuff like that. But everybody was a little bit scared to just post the witch audio or video or anything that anybody took because, like, you don't know what's gonna come after that. Especially, for such like a hush-hush screening. Like, they wanted to keep that whole entire thing discreet. So right after the screening, I do remember a couple of screenshots popping up. I remember it came from 4chan, and then things started to rile up, because people were posting the bad camera quality, type of thing. It was like, if we're trying to get any more of this episode, we should probably respect what was going on in the theater and try to keep this away from the masses. I remember there was like a big fight in like the comments of the archive.org upload because like people were like, no, you shouldn't have this up because da 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 da, and they were like, no, it's for preservation, and everybody was just like, ugh, and everybody was ganging up on each other, and there were like two sides of the story. So eventually that all came to a close when talk of the event and stuff like that was banned, and the whole thing became like so hush hush after that.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone. I put on treating money.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about it.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C. Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
On June 18th, 2022, after years of searching and speculating, it finally happened. The coveted Wicked Witch segment is uploaded to Reddit by a user known as SarsaPorella170170. This user has made no other posts or comments, besides one, a download link to the entire episode, which has since been removed.
You know something? You have got to be the most beautiful person I have ever seen. Oh, keep still. Wow, I think I'm in love.
I was kind of astonished, I'm not gonna lie, because this is like one of the most prioritized like pieces of lost media, period. So this was like huge, especially the fact that it came out from Reddit on a random day. I mean, we got the whole thing. And listen, the fact that it was like a studio copy. This was not a TV recording. This was not copy from a TV station or a cast member or anything like that. This was the recording.
Shortly after this discovery, I was invited to conversate with the leaker. Unfortunately, they remained completely anonymous and were quite vague with the details. They seem to have only wanted to end the search. News of the leak arose online. Where the leak originated from is a matter of debate. But there are some things to discern. After the Sesame Street's Lost and Found event, episode 847's page on the Mother Wiki was updated with screenshots from the episode, including segments that weren't shown during the events. This raised an important question. Where did these images come from? Another wiki, as well as the other fan site Tough Picks, were inundated with questions, yet they couldn't disclose their source. Perhaps they received it straight from the workshop. Others speculate that it could have been a TV station copy that was never returned or destroyed after its initial airing. More interestingly, in October of 2021, the American Archive of Public Broadcasting experienced a data breach. According to their Twitter account, quote, a user improperly downloaded episodes of Sesame Street that were restricted to AAPB premises. The American Archive of Public Broadcasting has arranged for takedowns of these episodes from the Internet Archive and YouTube. This raises yet another question. If the breach happened patched back in October, why did it take over 8 months for the episodes to appear online? Especially since the AAPB seems to have taken immediate action, and the leaker himself wanted to end the search hastily. Or could none of this be true? Could the leaker have gotten the episode from an alternate source, immediately took it to Reddit, and been done with it? It would explain why re-uploads of the episode have not been taken down by the AAPB, but that remains to be seen. Nevertheless, one of my personal holy grails of lost media has been found. Lost media being found in bizarre ways are rare, but they do happen. Anonymous collectors and unconfirmed sources make the search all the more fun and unexpected. You just never know how something will turn out. But there is just one last thing to talk about.
See, the divorce episode, I see it like, this is the exact same thing people were saying at the start of the 847, so it's very hard to see it come to the light of day, but listen, when you got this, you never know. There's a lot of things we could be embarking on.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. And I want to give a special thanks to Gravy for providing so much insight into the search. And one final thanks to Semper for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to click the link below and use the promo code WAYMANS for 55% off your first month. Take care, everyone. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.
I've definitely made a risky purchase or two, or many, meaning my passwords might be floating around the internet for a hacker to potentially steal. But luckily, two-step verification keeps my Google account safe. It's fingerprinted good.
Growing up, what was your favorite kids' TV show? Maybe it was Pokemon or the Magic School Bus, Cricket Josh, Dexter's Lab, Adventures of Pete. Really, your favorite kid show could have been anything. But for me, it was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You know the story. 5 teenagers in color-coordinated super suits defending the Earth against the forces of evil. Premiering in 1993, the show was instantly for kids, and it was easy to understand why. It had superheroes, martial arts, sword fights, dinosaurs, lasers, giant robot battles, all wrapped up in a single 30-minute package, and I loved it. I watched it every day after school, and as soon as I got home, and my favorite character was the Blue Ranger, Billy. Billy was the worst fighter, how he starts the series as a pretty White House, but he made up for it with his brains of LeBron and Bush, conflict and his clever inventions, teleporters, mind switch missions, flying cars. Really made being nerdy cool back when being nerdy wasn't. For me, he was Power Rangers. And so one day it really just sort of vanished. Out of nowhere, just showed together this really bizarre story of him just going off to live on an alien planet with a goodbye video obviously voiced by a different actor.
I made a really important decision on this show, but I'm going to stay here on that until it's yesterday.
Yeah, after nearly 200 episodes of the series, Billy literally got huge. As a kid, I was so annoyed that I stopped watching the show entirely. Why the actor who played Billy, David Yost, left so suddenly would be a mystery for years until 2010 when he finally revealed that things behind the scenes weren't so more phenomenal. Yost quit the show because some of the producers and crew had been ruthlessly bullying him. David Yost got so depressed that he started having thoughts about being alive anymore. So he quit the show, enrolled in gay conversion therapy, which obviously made him worse, and he suffered a complete mental breakdown. But problems like this behind the scenes in TV certainly aren't rare. Hi, I'm here for one. I make deep dive content about unusual week, and today we're looking at the less pleasant side behind children's television shows. Think obvious introductions, censorship, your lawsuits, the lives of TV animals, controversies, and more. Welcome to the ugly side of kids TV.
Hit it.
In the 1980s, Joe Johnson introduced the television game show, with each episode based around teaching lessons about the Bible. The audience was divided into teams, and members of each team participated in various physical challenges like paper throwing, balloon popping, ice cream scooping, and flying Pepsi can pouring, which I don't think they're all to do that, but they did. At the end of each show, the team with the most points would win all the prizes, like these sweet watches. What were the watches for? While Joy Junction lacked high-budget values, it's clear that the cast and crew put a significant amount of time and effort into the production. Occasionally, they go all out to create these elaborate costumes and set pieces, some of which would only get used for a few seconds. That's impressive. It kind of doesn't sound just to show us that we're entertainers, comedians, cooks, some of the most uncomfortable children we've ever seen, as well as really big song and dance numbers like this one about having patience before snack time. Look, I know it's easy to poke fun at stuff like this, but honestly, for a bunch of 12-year-olds, that's not a terrible music performance, and it's certainly not the worst thing on the show. Let's talk about the puppeteer, Ronald Brown. Much for the time was working to develop a strong following in his local churches, making him a perfect fit for Joy Junction. Brown introduced weekly pizza parties at his house for the young kids, and it seemed like everybody in the community really liked this guy. And all of that would just be wholesome and neat and great, if not for the fact that Ronald Brown really wanted to eat some children. Hey, I told you things are going to get, ugly today, because he was up there right there as animal puppeteer, so he was the anti-show for children. Besides that, Brown might not be such a great guy, would be in the early 1990s when during the routine traffic stop, he discovered something unusual in the backseat of his car. Children's undergarments. Brown, thinking quickly, told the cops the undergarments before his puppet, Marty, which was somehow accepted by the police as an not insane thing for a human to say, and they just let the man go. In 2013, the truth finally came out as Ronald Brown was arrested for participating in an online community of predators surrounding the practice of, well, a lot of horrible things, but mainly children's. According to the chat logs used during the trial, Brown claimed to refer to his partners that he had met on the show as his, and I'm quoting here, little piglets would make for fine Easter feast. Ugh, that's cool. Fortunately, Brown was sentenced to 2 years in prison for his involvement in activity, and considering his old age, that's probably going to be a life sentence. Hopefully. Real quick announcement here, smoking is bad for you. Objections? Are you okay with that? Alright, then we're all on the same page. But for television network executives in the mid-20th century, the fact that tobacco was already widely known to be dangerous, well, that wasn't really a big enough deterrent for Hanna-Barbera cartoons to present that smooth, sweet tobacco ad. fun to laugh at how absurd these ads are, there's also a sad twist here that the entire main cast of themselves will all eventually pass away due to smoking-related illnesses. Still, in 1967, the FCC started enforcing what's called the fairness doctrine of tobacco ads. Every 3 cigarette ads on television stations, 1 anti-smoking commercial would have to be aired and paid for by the tobacco industry. The compromise worked reasonably well, and the anti-tobacco ads led to a sudden and dramatic drop in smoking rates in the United States, somewhere between 5 and 10%. Eventually, smoking ads on TV were banned entirely, but also not really, since cigarette companies can still pay for advertisements on billboards and signs at sporting events that would make televised like NASCAR and especially baseball. For decades, we've been finding tobacco companies' logo and name appear in the features, especially visible during home runs, the moment people are paying the most attention to. Even when sporting agencies started cracking down on logos, sponsors got really clever at hiding their identity. But I'm getting off track. This video is supposed to be about kids' TV stuff, like how in 2015, Juul Labs, the electronic cigarettes maker, bought advertisements to display on various children's TV websites like CartoonNetwork.com and Nickelodeon.com. In their defense, Juul claimed that they're going to intentionally market to underage users, and I'm sure there's some adults on CartoonNetwork.com. But how about the other sites they advertise on, like CoolMathGames.com, BasicMathematics.com, and this was great, SocialStudiesForKids.com. Please, Joel, in 2020, the Massachusetts Attorney General's office filed a lawsuit over these ads, which is currently ongoing, but not looking great for Joel. And in 2015, there was also helping pressure on Puffcore for targeting teens with flavors like guava, watermelon, and a flavor literally called OMG. Okay, just for a second, we're going to pretend that OMG is a flavor and it's opposite to something different. What the hell would that be? That's still not a flavor that you market to adults. You know what? Maybe smoking ads for children and that creepy eye now return from the tiny people in your work a little too heavy for our first couple of times. Let's do something fun. Just kidding, this one's gonna suck too. Here's a list of beloved animal stars that aren't alive anymore. Keiko, the orca from Free Willy, the dog from Airbud, Mr. Ed, of course, Spuds McKenzie, the dog from Little Rascals. Okay, that was like 100 years ago, of course he's dead. Most dogs who have played last season, sad, but again, not unexpected. All 48 of the pigs played the pig. All of them? All of them. All 100 pigs there. And finally, that little sneaky baby panda Chi-Chi, who, yes, after a movie, and yes, is also dead. So, what does any of that have to do with Flipper or children's stuff? Truthfully, not that much. None of those animals' deaths were the fault of Hollywood or TV. They lived full, healthy, happy lives before dying. Well, not the Little Rascals, though. Heck, they're extremely poisoned by somebody who was sick. Just messed up. Oh, or Keiko, she got dumped into the ocean and then never really assimilated to the orca and then died alone in the ocean. But the other animals, full lives, full happy lives. Still, it's at least fair that we delve into the mysteries of rocky history when it comes to animals being used for entertainment. Here's a neat ancient Roman history fact. You argue that lions were commonly used in Colosseum arena games, but did you know that when the Romans first dropped lions into the pit to fight people, lions, they just kind of wouldn't. It's true, in the early games, these terrifying freaking lions got tossed into a closed space with 100,000 people screaming at them. They did what anybody would do, what I would do. They just waited to keep the corners. The audience was quite disappointed by that. All you have to imagine other people up there reading it would probably pretty thrilled. To make sure that lions would be more aggressive, the Roman animal trainers sent a few them inside the walls of the Colosseum and conditioned them to attack it. All for our entertainment. Things have improved for animal entertainment in the modern era, but there are still unpleasant stories from behind the scenes. Let's talk about Flipper. Inspired by the 1950s TV show Lassie, which was about a dog that went around helping people out of dangerous situations, Flipper was about a dog that went around helping people out of dangerous situations. You may be thinking, hey, how many situations can a dolphin actually help people in? And the answer is, not that many. So the writers had to keep coming up with increasingly elaborate and implausible scenarios that could somehow only be resolved by a wicked smart dolphin. There were boat-based hostage situations, oil rig counterfeit operation costs. There's one where Flipper is put on a plane and taken to a laboratory that wants to teach him how to speak English. There's a communist spy plot. There were multiple episodes where Flipper eats something valuable, like a bracelet or whatever, and everyone's like, "Yo, Flipper, thanks for always saving our dumbass kids. This rich woman really wants that diamond necklace you ate, and we're just gonna have to cut you open to get it." Yep, this happened like 3 times in the show with 60 episodes. Flipper was a weird show. The role of Flipper was mostly played by Dolphin and Kathy, who had been taught the wild fan performances. By all accounts, Kathy seemed to enjoy working in the series, and there's no evidence of this being by her trainers or staff during production. After the show ended, we saw a downward trend in Kathy's well-being. She was sent to live in a small chamber in Miami's aquarium, which, after years of frequent outings for show films and constant interaction, she had a lot of trouble adjusting. Including this out there, would eat, would swim, and eventually started teaching putting herself into the walls of the chamber. I think dolphins really did it. The staff called Rachel Berry, Kathy's former trainer for the show, said that when he found Kathy, she swam into his arms, held her breath, and passed out of the water, dying of scenario. Berry believes her death was intentional, self-determination. If I can get up on a soapbox for a second here, something TV studios and Hollywood in general are usually really good at is protecting animal performers during show productions, as they are now. But there's no additional regulations on how animal stars are cared for offset after the show ends. In the late 1960s, television producer Joanne Nance Kennedy and early educational specialist Lord Marston were developing plans for a new kind of children's television program focusing on educating children instead of just entertaining. But they needed a way to keep kids' attention for the entire length of the show's runtime, and the answer was puppets. Enter Jim Henson. Henson had made a name for himself in television, puppeteering with both his short-lived but popular 1950s series Sam and Friends, as well as a few well-known Fox performances. Morissette asked Henson and his team to design, craft, and perform as the show's puppets, or puppets as Henson called them. Henson agreed to help, and in 1969, Sesame Street hit the air. Parents loved the learning-centric element of the show, and everybody loved Henson's creations from Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, and Cookie Monster. Now, Henson was proud of his work on Sesame Street, but he also wanted to produce a show of his own. So in 1973, Henson pitched a new series idea using the mock-up pilot video, which was just fantastic.
Adored by every Nielsen home in the country. Freaky, long-haired, dirty, cynical Hitler. We'll love our freaky, long-haired, dirty, cynical Hitler. And we'll all get different than we're hard to work with, but you won't care. Because you all make a lot of money.
And another weird twist of fate, one of the executives pitched to release in the show was none other than young Michael Eisner, a man who would later become a the CEO of Disney. And that'll be important later, but Eisner loved the puppets so much that he greenlit the project not just for one, but for two more pilot episodes, including the Muppet Show Sex and Violence, which is not what it sounds like, but you kind of wish it was. Well, ABC ultimately passed the Muppets. British channel ATV swooped in and ordered a full season of the project, giving us the Muppet Show. The series debuted to be a incredible success for its first 5 seasons, getting 21 Emmy nominations, and launching movies, works, and puppet cartoons. Thanks to Henson, as well as the hard-working crew of both shows, Sesame Street and the Muppets became cultural super icons for both the kids and the world. And before we get into all the ugly stuff, let me just say without the slightest bit of shame, I adore both of these shows. Seriously, when's the last time you sat down and watched either series? I think because we grow up with these shows, we lose some appreciation for how incredibly talented and
Goat Simulator 3?
Peggy 12.
It looks like Goat Simulator. Yeah, it looks like it has some... It is real. I'm gonna love that when it comes out.
Hey, how's it going? So, the internet is kind of wicked. And you know, when you're dealing with something as gigantic such as the internet, you're bound to reach some really, really weird stuff. And that's what we're doing today. We're talking about some really fucking far out shit. Some of these I found when I was just a middle schooler, and it definitely left an impact on me. I can say that, alright. If this video ends up being a success, I don't know, if it gets like 5,000 likes, hey, I'll make a sequel. So, without further ado, let's talk about some real weird-ass shit. ScaryMaze.com. let's start off easy. So this has been fairly popular, and if you grew up in the 2000s, you probably stumbled upon on this website. Okay, so imagine this. It's the year 2006, and you're 7 years old, and your older brother decides to mess with you. He's like, oh, hey, you should play this maze game. It's pretty hard. And then as I'm like playing through it, I'm just like, hey, this isn't really that hard. I'm just greeted with this giant, scary face on the screen screaming at me. And then I just proceed to scream myself because I'm just like, oh shit, that's scary. So it's a pretty simple website. You just play this game, go through this maze, and it's been used as a prank to scare your friends. I was never really a huge fan of these type of pranks, especially because it would translate into YouTube videos via clickbaity titles. For example, I remember watching this video that would be like, oh hey, Shadow the Hedgehog is actually in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I would click on it and then just be greeted with a screamer. And the worst part about it is that he actually is in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. He's just an assist trophy. Just my 8-year-old self was hoping that he was playable. God, I'm so stupid. And I just got owned. So yeah, ScaryMaze.com is still active, but like, you know, you've already watched this section of the video, so why even bother trying to do this anymore? I'm pretty sure everyone has already been pranked by this website. Thisman.org. Have you seen this man? This weird, odd sketch of a man? This following website's goal is to foster communication between people who have seen this man in their dreams. They wish to figure out who exactly this man is, and why do they appear in these dreams. The thing is that like a lot of these dreams containing this man are mostly positive. Some of them are even romantic. One of the dreams have said this: I fell in love with him for the very first time I saw him in my dreams. Even though, if I think about it, I must admit, he's really ugly. Yet each and every time he sweeps me off my feet with his romantic gestures and sweet words. He buys me flowers, jewelry, and he takes me out to dinner or to the beach to watch the sunset. Now if that isn't true love, then I don't know what is. It's pretty interesting. He's made his way to posters all around the world. Okay, you know, I would move on, but I seriously have to tell you about this final story this guy stated on the website. So this stream states this: I have never had homosexual relationships or even fantasies, but I dream about having fantasy with this man all the time. I must admit, he has a lot of imagination and he pleases me. Sometimes when I wake up, I discover I have had a nocturnal emission. This is pretty base, not gonna lie. Personally, I've never dreamt about this guy, but maybe you have. Comment below if you have, because I genuinely want to know. Hey guys, Zeke here. If you're liking this so far, make sure to like this video. Also subscribe, we're near 70,000. I would really appreciate it if you guys did. Anyways, back to the video. Love ya. ComedaLoveMail.com. This is probably one of the weirder things on the list. How interactive it is, but that also makes it one of the more fascinating ones. You have the option to talk to this clown who is fully voice acted, who sounds oddly reserved to themselves. Creepy music plays in the background as things get more and more distorted as you continue talking to this clown. The clown seems very supportive of you, as it seems to be wondering how you're doing as an individual. He also states that he's just around and that he'll do anything to keep you safe and comfortable. He doesn't seem like a bad guy, if I'm being honest. He's just a little odd. It just seems a little creepy. At one point he asks you to take him to the moon and then you're transported to this cave and things get... What the hell? What is this? His name is Amadeus, and he explains to the player that there's another god who's like this false god, and there's all this lore that I don't completely understand, but it seems all rather interesting. I looked at the blog more, I think I would understand the story more thoroughly. At one point they even did it even deeper into the cave, which kind of looks like a sewer, and the music gets even more twisted. It's actually pretty impressive. I will give the author of this game mad props. It's pretty cool.